Do you live in Chinatown?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been living there?
All my life.
Have you noticed like a change in the population of who lives in Chinatown, or is it always the same people who you've known since you were younger?
Well, it's it seems to me there's a lot of change, especially on the like on the outskirts of Chinatown.
Okay,
So it seemed my perception, like Grand Street, Canal Street, haven't changed at all.
okay,
A lot of the residential there still seems kind of the same, but it's more toward the borders, you can see a lot of younger adults, mostly white, not entirely, moving in. Uh, and you're right. They're mostly about families. It seems, and I see that a little in more like the central Chinatown area, but not
okay.
as much as like on the outskirts.
How long has the hotel been here?
The hotel's been here since November 2012.
How long have you been here?
I've been here since the start of the hotel. Some people came and went, but a bunch of the core faculty stayed.
What type of clients do you get?
We get mostly international clients.
How often do you hold events at your hotel?
Quite frequently, about once every week or so.
What is the average room price, you'd say?
Well, it depends. During the off seasons, such as winter and fall, it's about 149 or 159. But in the summer, it goes up to 200.
Interesting. Where do you live?
I live in Queens, but a bunch of my coworkers live here.
Do you think that gentrification is good for this community?
Yeah, I think change is good for the community because it makes a lot more municipal services available for everyone.
Why do you think the area is gentrifying?
It's mainly probably because of the location. It's between Brooklyn and Manhattan, and there are so many subways here.
How do you think other residents enjoy the gentrification?
I'm sure they enjoy it. There are more services coming into the neighborhood as the neighborhood becomes more gentrified.
Alright, thank you.
Why do you think new people are coming in?
I think that for one thing, I think Chinatown and its borders are very close to, they're in Manhattan.
Uh
And they're
huh.
close to a lot of, important things like business, arts, and so on. So that probably
Okay.
makes it attractive. It's it was never very dangerous, but it's safer than it was like many years ago. So I've heard. I wasn't alive then.
Uh huh.
Um, and I think uh, the neighborhood has a lot of charm too. You know, very very like cozy streets and short buildings and so on. I think it's a might have has a homelier feel than maybe Midtown with like all their skyscraper apartments. I think there are probably a lot. Probably a lot of reasons. Maybe probably not so true anymore, but still probably relatively affordable, in relative terms.
What other changes have you noticed with gentrification? Like, what do you think about these changes personally?
I think that there's been some good and some bad. So, so um, I think it's definitely good that that the neighborhood is an attractive place to live.
Okay.
It's better than the opposite if people thought it was not an attractive place to live.
Okay.
I'm glad that people want to set up shop near Chinatown, and I'm not an expert on tax, but I'm sure that increased business means more tax revenue for the community,
Hmm.
means better services, schools. I would hope anyway. I think that there's definitely some degree of separation. Uh, I guess people would call the gentrifiers don't aren't I don't feel that they you know they're we're necessarily part of the same community.